Hello everyone. Now let us start with the second part of the complexometric titration. In this we will cover the structure and preparation of standard EDTA solution, EDTA titration curve or PM metal ion potentiality versus the volume of EDTA curve, and Welcher's rules for the EDTA titration. Now EDTA is generally used as a chelating agent in the complexometric titration because EDTA forms chelates with all the metal ions, almost all the metal ions, and hence can be used for the analysis of the metal ion present in the given solution. It is easy to prepare a standard solution of EDTA, and hence this titration is known as EDTA titration. The coordination number of EDTA is 6, where 4 active hydrogen ions of the carboxyl groups joins with the metal by 4 coordinate covalent bond, and 2 lone pairs of the electrons present on nitrogen atom donates, giving the formation of a stable complex because of the ring structure which is formed. The structure of EDTA is as shown, where there are 4 replaceable hydrogen atoms with 2 lone pairs of electrons on nitrogen atoms. So general form of EDTA we will write as H4Y, where Y is the deprotonated form of EDTA. So we write H4Y. Now when the EDTA is joined with the metal ion, it shows this type of a stable chelate or a ring structured complex, where metal ion is in the center coordinated with the electron pairs donated by the nitrogen and the carboxyl groups. Now how we prepare the standard solution of EDTA? Generally H4Y which is there, if we take that and dissolve it in water, it is sparingly soluble in water. So it is partially soluble in water. So what we do, we add some base to that solution so that its solubility increases. So we form a tetrasodium salt of EDTA. It becomes soluble, but the pH of the solution increases to 12 or more than that. So what happens is, by dissociation it gives 4 NaOH molecules in the solution and hence makes the solution highly basic. So tetrasodium salt of EDTA also it is not used. Now third option we have is we use the disodium salt of EDTA, which is soluble in water as well as the alkalinity of the solution is below 10. So H4Y is not used, Na4Y also is not used, that is tetrasodium salt of EDTA, but the disodium salt of EDTA is used because it is soluble in water as well as the alkalinity of the solution is also maintained to pH below 10. Molecular formula of disodium salt of EDTA is Na2H2C10H12O8N2 2H2O, and its molecular weight is 372.25 grams. Now if you want to prepare 0.01 molar solution of disodium salt of EDTA, we require 0.931 grams, which is to be dissolved in 250 ml distilled water. So this we can prepare using the factor. For molarity, 1 molar 1000 ml requires 372.25 grams. Because it is molarity, we are taking molecular weight. So how much grams we require to prepare 0.01 molar of the solution? So it gives 3.722 grams. Now if we want to prepare 250 ml 0.01 molar, we require 0.931 grams of the disodium salt of EDTA. This is the structure of disodium salt of EDTA, wherein 2 hydrogen atoms are replaced by 2 sodium atoms, and generally it is represented as Na2H2Y. Now EDTA is this disodium salt of EDTA is a water soluble chelating agent and it is more stable and hence it is used. Secondly, it is non-hygroscopic, that means it does not absorb moisture. Hygroscopic means it absorbs moisture, so it is non-hygroscopic means it resists the solution to absorb moisture from the air, as well as it is a very stable sequestering agent. Sequestering agent means ligands which forms a water soluble chelates. So EDTA is one of them which forms a stable metal chelate at the end and hence gives it a stable form. So it is generally used. The disodium salt of EDTA is used because of this characteristics. EDTA is a tetrabasic acid, so it undergoes 1 by 1 ionization or stepwise ionization, wherein H4Y is the general form, ionizes first giving H plus H3Y minus, then it undergoes a second and third and fourth ionization where the dissociation constant K1 value is given, from which we can also calculate the pK1 or pK2, 3 or 4 values. So it shows the stability of the ions formed. This also depends on the pH of the solution. Now EDTA titration curve, that is PM versus EDTA curve. This is always in the ratio of 1:1 that we have taken in conditions also. So here when we take titration between the disodium salt of EDTA with any of the metal ion having valency of +2, +3 or +4, the reaction that occurs is as shown. Metal ion with +2 charge reacts with H2Y -2 of the disodium, because it is disodium we are taking this, and it gives the formation of metal EDTA complex releasing 2H+. Here the K1 shows the formation constant, which is around 1.02 into 10 raised to -2. Though it is +3 metal ion, it gives 1:1 stoichiometry. Metal EDTA complex always maintains the stoichiometry of metal to EDTA as 1:1. So these are the stepwise ionization shown for the metal EDTA formation complex. So general reaction we can write as this given: metal with any plus charge plus disodium salt of EDTA H2Y -2 giving metal EDTA complex with N-4 plus 2H plus are released. So hence we see that when 1 mole of a metal ion reacts with 1 mole of disodium EDTA, 2 moles of H plus becomes free and metal ion concentration changes. Now if we take the concentration of metal ion as M, then PM will be equal to minus log of M, or we say log of 1 upon concentration of the metal ion, where PM is the negative logarithm of the metal ion concentration, and we call this as a metal ion potentiality. So this value of PM depends on the stability constant and it changes sharply at the equivalent point. This we can see when we plot a graph of volume of EDTA versus PM. This shows S-shaped curve, which is known as a potentiality curve or the complexometric titration curve. See, this shows the graph of volume of EDTA versus the potentiality of the metal ion shown. It shows a sharp end point formation of the metal EDTA complex. Here there are stability constants K1, K2 and K3 formed. These are also called the formation constant. Its value also depend on the pH of the solution. So K1, K2 and K3 represents the stability constants. These are also known as formation constant, and generally these are the reciprocal of the dissociation constant. This formation constant gives you the formation of a metal chelate, and dissociation constant means it dissociates, which is a reversible reaction. So as the value of the stability constant is high or greater, the change in the PM value will be also larger, and hence we get a more accurate endpoint. The stability constant can be calculated based on the equation that we have. The stability constant Kf will be equal to the ratio of the concentration of the metal EDTA, that is the product, to the concentration of the reactants taken. At equivalence point, we see the sharp and color change, which is very fast, for which we are using the metal ion indicators like EBT, solochrome dark blue, muroxide and others. Here we see that metal ion forms metal indicator bond, which should be always less stable than metal EDTA bond, and hence we get the sharp color change at the end point. So after the titration process is over, metal EDTA bond being more strong, indicator bond from the metal indicator becomes free, and hence we get the color change, which is highly observable at the end point. These type of titrations are more accurate than the neutralization titrations. Now finally we take the Welchur's rules for the EDTA titration. Welchur gave these rules because the stability of the metal EDTA complexes were highly dependent on the pH of the solution. So it was highly necessary to maintain the pH of the solution while forming the complex of EDTA with the metal ion. Say first rule is forming EDTA complexes with bivalent metal ions. It requires the solution of pH around 8 to 10. Then only it gives a stable formation of a complex. So bivalent metal ions requires a pH of 8 to 10, that is alkaline medium, to give the formation of a complex with EDTA. Similarly, trivalent metal ions forms a stable complex in an acidic range of pH 1 to 2 with EDTA. Tetravalent metal ions are more stable at pH 0 to 2, forming a complex with EDTA. And most of the metal ions except the alkali metals gives more stable and soluble complex, which forms the basic principle of the complexometric titration or EDTA titration. So alkali metal ions generally does not give the formation of a complex with EDTA. These are the reference books.